Good morning, family. This is Ricky, and welcome to Hope for Today. Happy Thursday. We are inching towards Friday, where I will divulge a beautiful and exquisite dish I will be enjoying in the Coachella Valley this weekend. And I don't know why I talk about food so much, other than the fact that, I talk about what I love. Anyways, it is what it is. We're back in Deuteronomy 6. Yesterday we talked about how God's words will be on our heart, and that if you want stuff to show up in your life, it has to first emanate from your heart. And so Moses stresses to us that the words, the commandments, the laws and statutes of God should be on our heart, because if they're in our heart, they'll show up in our life. And now he moves forward to talk about how now shall we live, insofar that the word is on our heart. What are the things that are coming out? And I think he's talking straight to parents and mentors. And influencers and leaders in this next verse. And I just want to really encourage you today, if you are a parent, if you're a grandparent, if you're a mentor, if you're a pastor, if you're a leader today, I want to encourage you. And I'm probably going to be talking to myself, but hopefully it can help somebody else. Verse 7, Deuteronomy 6, Moses says, now that the words are in your heart, you shall teach them diligently to your children, and shall talk of them when you sit in your house, and when you walk by the way, and when you lie down, and when you rise. Obviously, Moses is basically telling the generations of Israel that God's done great stuff for you, and it's your job to share the stories of his greatness and to share the stipulations of his law, to share with your children and with your children's children. And this idea of passing down the legacy of the gospel. And I just want to hang on to those words to parents and to mentors, to pastors, to influencers. God says to me and you, he says, you shall teach them diligently. And I want to encourage some folks. For me in April right now, it is a tough season in parenting. It's a tough season. Kids are beautiful. Kids are great. But parents and grandparents, there are seasons where your kids are just showing up well. It looks like the seeds of the gospel are being planted in their hearts. They're making you proud. They're making you happy. It just seems like the snow is sticking and this is going to turn out right. And those are just amazing seasons. And then there's other seasons like the one I'm in, where you're looking at your child like, whose child are you? Can I get a witness? Look, there's just some seasons where kids are kids, right? We had them, and so our kids are going to have them. And we've been in that kind of moment. Lord, touch this boy's heart. Lord, encourage this boy in his mind and soul. Lord, help him to believe the truth. And sometimes you just wonder, am I a good parent? Is it that I don't know what I'm doing? And all that kind of stuff, which is why verses like these really warm my heart. And I'm praying that they warm your heart. All God asked us to do as parents and as leaders was to teach them diligently. He didn't say you got to be super dad and super mom. He didn't say you got to be super grandpa, super pastor, super leader. He didn't say that you have to have everything figured out. He didn't even say that you have to ensure your success as a parent. What he did say was, would you do your part, which is to teach them diligently? And we were just saying this last Sunday, that the good news of the gospel as a parent is that God's just called me to be faithful, not successful. And if we show up with faithfulness, he'll handle the successful part. And my only job is, God, give me the strength to teach this child with diligence, which means show up every day to give this child the best that I can, trusting that what I can't do, the gaps that I leave behind, the God of heaven is the God of the gaps. Who am I talking to today that needed to hear that as a parent, as a leader, as a mentor, all you can do is your part, and you got to trust God for the rest. Some of you are planting some seeds right now in the heart of a child or a grandchild, and you just can't tell if that seed is sprouting. Well, your job was to plant the seed and to nurse the seed and trust God for everything else. So let's take a breather and just remember, God's on it. And God's going to take care of that child. And God's going to make that thing turn out all right. You just do your part. Teach them diligently. Hold on. And that's hope for today. I'll see you next time.